Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ILR6 for round number 17 here of the season. My name is Leon, as you all know. I do have to briefly apologise for the later start to the stream. PS10 has had an absolute mare with me. First of all, making me pay extra for PSN or PS Plus that I already had. And also, I already started the stream once and PSN decided to turn the stream off. So yeah, not been a mare, but hopefully it does work now. Enough about me. This is the Japanese Grand Prix and we're looking at Nipro here, who I don't believe can win the championship this race. Definitely can next race, which is in a couple of weeks' time. You will have to give me a few minutes whilst I get the standings up. I've been a little bit busy. But Nipro sets the first lap time of the day with a 130.0. Heavy T instantly smashes out with a 129.0. Japanese Grand Prix, probably famously known for this first sector, to be honest, the S section. Oh, not the S section, I can't remember what it's called, but the first sector, we'll call it that. As Heavy T actually goes on to the grass a little bit. Very good to drive, as we do have Carmeds, who actually wants to have a look at the gravel trap. He's just inspecting the gravel trap, I think. But anyway, yeah, the first sector is well known for just it's the way the corners are, the right, the left, the right, the left, the right, the left, up to Dunlop curve. This track has got a bit of everything. It's the only figure of 8 on the of the whole. Oh, Sippy! Oh my Jesus! Oh wow! There's been a big crash there between Sippy and Patuka, and Patuka's out. What has happened there? Sippy's got a 5 place grid penalty for hitting Patuka. Patuka's out of the session, not setting a lap time. That is one of Nipro's championship rivals. Wow, absolute mad start. But as I was saying about the track, the only figure of 8 circuit on the calendar. This track does have a bit of everything, to be honest. It has a load of mid-speed corners, low speed corners for the hairpin. You have got 130R, which obviously isn't very difficult nowadays, as we did see earlier on in the real life season Charles Leclerc go through it one-handed. But yeah, a flat out left-hander in the dry, in the wet you've got to test your luck. Sippy, obviously wing damage, can't really go through it flat, but yeah, drivers will be taking this flat throughout this session and the race. You do see people with the opportunity to try and go for it down the inside at 130R, but it doesn't usually end very well, as travelling at speeds around 200 miles an hour going through a corner, side by side, through a pretty tight corner, isn't going to work. Rightio. A lot of yellow flags, but anyway, let's have a look. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, Nipro can win the championship. I do believe, yeah, Nipro can win the championship. I completely eluded it, yeah. Nipro can win the championship today. He's currently leading on 98 points. So all he needs to do is outscore Jururu by 7 points and he is the champion. because the maximum you can get out of a Grand Prix is 26. And there'll be only 4 rounds left after this one. So yeah, Nipro can win the championship today, and I completely didn't notice. Ah la 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 la, how did I not notice? But here's Giroud just driving around a little bit. I'll go through the rest of the standings as well, and I'll just focus on Nipro there. Giroud is second on 131 points. Patuka is on 114. B is on 103. Eledi 83. Yes, Matt's 81. Scott and Joe are both on 78. Scott is on a very good run of form at the moment, despite having that DNF last week in Russia. Joe, on the other hand, not having a good run. Has been on a bad run since Monaco. Stiggy is in 9th. Ushin and Bastos are joint 10th and 11th. Then you've got Speed Iceman, Heavy T, JTX, Bigzery, Johnny R, Ivor Brian Mike, Noel, Carmed and Muffin. Onto the constructors, which is far more interesting, I will say. Alfa Romeo are leading it on 315 points. I do not believe they can win it this time round, but I will obviously double check. Then it is Ferrari on 186 points. Then it's Haas on 181, Mercedes 180, Renault 151, Racing Point 138, Toro Rosso 136, McLaren 134, Red Bull 92, and then you've got Williams on a miserable 8. Not really into the double figures. But yeah, it has been an interesting season. Constructors, the fight from 2nd to 9th is not over. Separated by less than 100 points. 8 teams. But yeah, our main focus will be on this person. As he's currently on a lap at the moment. If you can hear me typing, I do apologise. But anyway, let's get back on the action. As Nipro is just coming out of the hairpin. A very important corner around this track, the hairpin. You've got to take the right speed, don't want to lock up on the inside if you run no ABS. And the exit is obviously the most important, as it's not a straight leading up to Spoon Curve as he's going through here, as he's got actually a bit of traffic of B in the way. But getting out of that hairpin leads you up through that long right-hander up into Spoon. So if you get a bad exit there, it's going to cost you, as Nipro comes flying through at 130R. I didn't see how far he was up by. I'll have to double check. He was up by 1.5 seconds from when I last saw on the stream. And coming up to the line, well, Nipro isn't actually coming up to the line, he is actually coming into the pit lane. So Heavy T's gone quickest as well. I didn't really notice. Stiggy slowed down. B's just started a lap. Carmed is in the pits. Girouru's just started a lap. Oh, I wasn't even looking back and he's lost it. I was paying attention to my other screen, and Girouru's lost it coming out of turn 2. Or turn 1, actually, I don't know. I'll get a track guide up quickly. But, wow. That must have been, he must have touched the, I don't know, the curbing or something, because he, on the exit is where you usually lose it, and he was pretty much past it. It was on the exit of turn 2, yeah. Yeah, quite an unusual mistake there from Girouru. Not what he wants. He doesn't want to ruin his confidence, even though he has a very slim chance of getting the championship. He probably wants to delay Nipro as much as possible. You know, you never know. He could take it to Abu Dhabi. The odds are incredibly unlikely, but we will have to see. And I have been told by some trusty weathermen that it is a dry race. as Giroud will be coming back into the pits, no doubt. There it goes into the pit lane. Scott has gone second with a 128.9. Lord Lamb, I think, has just come across the line to come P8. NWB is a reserve who has actually won a race this season. It was a couple of weeks ago, in fact, and he's getting a little bit of a tow here off of McLaren up ahead, which will be Speed Iceman, yeah. So, and actually, Speed Iceman doesn't get out of the way here. This is going to be a nice tow for NWB. Very little tow, but it will do for the Toro Rosso driver. He's up by 4 tenths, which does put him into a provisional second if he can keep it going. No, not second actually. It'd be first. I was looking at the wrong person. So NWB coming up to the line in the Toro Rosso. It's going to be a 1 minute 28.2. A very good final sector for the Toro Rosso driver, and it puts him into provisional pole by 4 tenths of a second. So a very impressive lap there from the Toro Rosso driver. Obviously he's not in a Toro Rosso as he is in a... Never mind, he is a reserve. He is in there. Who else have we got? We have got Joe, who is coming into Spoon. He's actually gone a little bit deep into Spoon. He was up by about 2 tenths, I think. That was going into the middle sector. We'll see how far he's up now, coming into 130R. Up by 3.5 tenths. This is going to put him around that second row of the grid. Not been on a good run of form since Monaco, and he looked like he may have just cut that final curbing. I'm not too sure, but up to the line, Joe sets a 1 minute 28.9, puts him 5th. So he actually did lose a little bit of time out of that final sector, but that does put him onto the 3rd row of the grid. We've got 2 minutes 40 to go. Heavy T's on the lap and he's down by 1,000th. So he's pretty consistent in the first sector. We'll see how he does here through Spoon curves. This is the off-flag in sector 3. It's a very good run there from Heavy T. It's a little bit wide on the exit of Spoon, though that may cost him a little bit. We'll see how he is in the sector split. He's down by 1/10.5, so it's not a good lap from Heavy T. I don't think he'll get in and out of his pit box in time. And Heavy T to the line. I don't think it's an improvement from the Mercedes driver. It's not. He stays second, unless he's going to go for a quick recharge lap. That could be his last lap of the session. Nipper now up by 6. Sorry. Almost 7 tenths, but actually just run a little bit deep into Spoon. But we're 6 tenths up. We'll see what Nipro can do now. Is up by 1.1 seconds, which puts him onto the 2nd row of the grid. I don't think he'll get NWB, but he did make a pretty big mistake coming out of Spoon. Through the final 2 corners comes Nipro. Nipro pits. So Nipro's going to be starting outside the top 10. Which is an interesting one, because he has to outscore Giroud. Bear that in mind. And Letty's not on a lap. Oh, yes, Max was on a lap, and I was just on board to see him spin out a Dunlop curve, and that is something you do want to watch out for. The drivers do anyway. Coming out a Dunlop curve, if you put the power down a little bit too early, you get a little bit of an oversteer moment, or you're just understeering out a Dunlop curve, and you clip that grass on the outside, you're either going to get sucked into it, or it's going to send you into a spin like EST Mats did. EST Mats kind of got lucky there, because usually you'd end up in a wall, either on the inside wall or the outside, and not just doing a happy 180. So he's got away with it. Obviously not going to set a lap now, so 6th is the best he can possibly get. Giroud's on a lap, the person we need to look out for the most. I believe him and Patuka are the ones who can win it now. Yes, him and Patuka are the only ones who can win the championship now. Patuka's odds are incredibly low, so are Girouru's, but Girouru's got a bit more of a chance as Carl Med's thingamajiggies in the first sector, and I believe Giroux was down by 3 attempts in the first sector, so it's not gone well for him. We've got Speed Iceman who's in the final sector. You've got Muffin, the Williams driver, who I believe has got like 1 point this season. Let's see what the Williams driver can do. Can he get himself into the top 10? No, which is 11th, but that is the best place to be. You've got Speed Iceman who's coming through the final couple of corners on a set of medium tyres. I don't know why he's doing that. He might not even get into the top 10. Oh, but he is 9th place. He may actually stay in the top 10 on a set of mediums. Giroux is still down on his lap time. He needs an absolute miracle final sector here. Otherwise, 4th is the best he's going to get. And coming up to the line, Giroux improves slightly, but not enough to go anywhere. Scott doesn't improve either. So not many drivers are improving. Lauderlam is barely up either. As well, sorry. Aledi now 8 tenths up, however. What can Aledi do? Aledi puts himself into 9th. And now Lauderlam is crawling. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. Yeah, Lauderlam has given up just before the line, and that is it for qualifying. So, NWB is on pole with a 128.2. 4 attempts to Heavy T, who is in 2nd. Scott 3rd, not a bad start from him. Giroux in 4th. Joe 5th. Estimas 6th. Sippy 7th for the grid penalty. 8th is Stiggy. 9th for Lady Carmez is 10th. That is your top 10. Outside the top 10 is Speed Iceman, Simics, Lauderland, Muffin, Nipro, Patuka, Ushin, and B. I do imagine that the incident between Patuka and Sippy will get resolved after the race. I'm not sure what happened. I just know that the two collided going into Dunlop Curve. I don't know how it's happened. I would presume that someone has slowed down through Dunlop Curve and the other one was going through on a flying lap, didn't see him, went into the back of him. But Sippy got the penalty, so the game's blaming Sippy. So, yeah, and currently, if you see right next to the steward, or the closest steward, you can see a bouncing Alfa Romeo. It's a bit weird I've got no game sound, hopefully that does fix itself. Otherwise I may have to leave and rejoin very quickly. And there we go, and we get ready for the formation lap of possibly the championship deciding race. Nipro down in 15th, Giroux up in 4th. The odds are in Giroux's favour to keep this championship alive until USA, which is in a couple of weeks' time. But, well, as it stands, Giroux would make it carry on another week. If Nipro doesn't score points, Nipro at least needs to get... let me double check, I've not been given any figures on this. The gap is 98, you need a maximum of 104. So I think he needs to score 7 points. So it's either going to be a 7th and a fastest lap for Nipro to win the championship. Well, a 7th for the fastest lap or higher. That's all Nipro needs, and Nipro's starting on a set of hards. The only person to be on the hards. Softs is everyone inside the top 9. Carl Med's actually got himself into the top 10. Fair play from Carl Meds. I thought I was going to say the two. I was going to say the two Williams together on track. They are, but not on the grid spot. Sippy and Muffin are on softs outside the top 10. Nipro, as I said, is on hards, going for the longer strat. Risky. When he's got a championship to fight for, he needs points. He needs 7th. on a set of hards, he will be the slowest on the grid potentially. And then you've got Speed Iceman, Simics, Lord Alarm, Patuka, who we need to watch out for as well. Ushin, who Ushin, who has lost it. Coming out of 130R, and B are on mediums, and as everyone lines up for potentially the championship deciding race, I'm going to keep doing that just to build the excitement, build the tension. But NWB puts himself on pole. I believe when NWB was last on pole, he won, which was back in Italy, but I'm not too sure, so we may have to confirm that on me. Waiting on Ushin, and we can get ready for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. It is going to be all dry, as we can all obviously see. Yellow flag set to 3. Well, as we get ready, the lights are on. We've got 4 lights, we've got 5. And away we go for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's a pretty good start there from Heavy T. He's going to be alongside and actually past NWB into turn 1. Into turn 1 they go, NWB around the outside. Oh my god, he's lost it. Back into the wall. He's overcooked it well too much going into turn 1. And he's to the back of the grid. There's not much else going on there. Everyone should be able to keep it clean. But that is the worst start possible from pole. Oh, an awful start from NWB, and has overshot it through turn 1 and has put it backwards into the wall. And his last, Nipro up into 11th. A very good start from the championship leader. Jaruru, very good start for him as well, however. Second place for him, where he needs to be. First would be ideal. If he was to gain 18 points on Nipro, he's losing a position to Ushin. He has lost a position to Ushin, so he has dropped down to 12th place. Not going well for the Alfa Romeo driver so far. Now we've got 2 cars going side by side. We've got the Alfa Romeo, I keep forgetting the name, and Stiggy and Simics going side by side through Spoon Curve. I'm getting all my pronunciations messed up now. And I believe Stiggy's got the move on Simics. Simics is going to go for it down the inside of 130. Oh, we're going to get that move done already. Yes, we are. They're trying it. Oh, and Stiggy's gone off the track, but Stiggy does keep the position. And into the hairpin. Oh, no. Sippy. Oh, and he's hit Nipro. Oh, Nipro's got wing damage, and so has Lord Alam. Oh, this is a horrible start for Nipro. Championship leader with wing damage. I do not believe now Nipro's going to win this championship on hards with wing damage. Drops now down to 12th once again. What he needs now is a definite safety car. Oh, Lord Alam, and oh, hello. That's a Leddy trying it around the outside of Nipro, and he's got the move on Nipro. Now he's going to try it on Lord Alam. Lord Alam's gone off the track with wing damage. It's like an absolute car park in here. We've now got the other Ferrari of B having a go, 4th in the championship, bear that in mind. And Lord Alam goes off the track through Lesmo 1. This is a feisty scrap for P12 between the 2 broken winged people. Oh my god, NWB, what are you doing? He's launched it down the inside of the hairpin and spun himself around and got wing damage for himself. Now it has gone worse for the Toro Rosso driver. It's to a crawling round. They've barely got any wing. Nipro's not going to try it around the outside with half a wing. He's not going to be able to get this move done around the outside of 130R. There's no way. He's trying it though. Wow, he's got it off the track. Bear that in mind. I don't know if the game's going to punish him for that, but a very good move nonetheless from Nipro. His lap 3 begins and DRS is enabled. Nipro's in. So is Lord Alam. Lord Alam can pit for some hard compound. That's actually set softs. Meanwhile, Nipro hasn't got any hards left. Oh, he has. But he can't go from hards to hards. So, yeah, Nipro has to pit again. And has actually been held by Lord Alam and has lost the position. Jesus, that is unfortunate. And Nipro is down in 16th. Oh, scratch that 17th. Fiesti Mats is off. Where the bloody hell? That is down at Lesmo 2. Sorry for the language there, but I was just confused at where he was. And now he's about to lose positions to Muffin and Aledi. So the SD Max making mistakes like he did in qualifying. It's cost him front wing. Now we've got Ushin and Patuka and Simics. We've got Patuka having a go at Simics. Simics gets a little bit off the track and a bit squirmy. And Simics loses out on 2 positions. And now we've got Ushin and Patuka. Oh my god, he's literally pushing him. But here comes Simics down the... Oh my... Well, Simics has gone down the inside a bit too much. Now he's going to lose out to Aledi. Oh my god, Aledi! Oh, he's almost in a Robert Kubica. Oh my, absolute chaotic start. First couple of laps here at the Japanese Grand Prix. Driving standards at this rate have gone completely out the window. And all the drivers' consistency out the window, apart from Heavy T and Jaruru. Jaruru's not in a bad spot. Gap in the championship now would, because he's got fastest lap as well, the gap in the championship would go down to 79 points. And the shell flag is set to 1. Stiggy! Dunlop curve is off the track. Oh, he doesn't want to keep doing donuts. Oh, that does. He's got any wing damage as well. He just can't get the car controlled again. He's down in 13th. Cannot get the car controlled. Trying to put the power down on the gravel. That's not going to work, but he's down in 14th. So, yeah, it's just not going well right now for a few drivers who are just making some silly mistakes. So Drew, still behind Heavy T, is getting a little bit down that straight. And he's got more ERS than all of these 3. Joe's barely got any trying to keep up with these 2. It is quite hard to overtake around this track, I will admit. The DRS around this track is pretty useless. I will say that. And these guys just have to keep each other at arm's length. Chris Patuka and Ushin on, and they're going side by side. I think Ushin went down the inside at turn 1. And Patuka looked for the switchback, couldn't get it done. Ushin up into 6th. From starting at the back of the grid, bear that in mind. If you look at position changes, yeah, Ushin second to last. But Patuka as well, up 9. Patuka didn't set a lap either. So these two starting at the back of the grid, doing very well. And staying out of trouble. Back up to the front though. Giroux looks like he's really closing in on Heavy T. Heavy T is struggling, and there's another yellow flag. I think it's the SD Mats. I think actually it was Muffin. Muffin has got gravel on his tyres. So I think Muffin has had an off. I believe that'll be at Lesmo 2. It's not even Lesmo's, it's Deckner's. Deckner 2. I don't know why I said Lesmo. Because that is Monza, and now I'm getting mixed up between Monza and Suzuka. But here comes Giroux. He's pretty close to Heavy T. He's got the DRS. He's going to have to pull it from a long way back. Will he get alongside into turn 1? He will. Heavy T's left the door wide open. Oh, and there's a bit of contact between the two. And Giroux has taken P1. Not the cleanest of ways, I have to admit, to just push Heavy T off the track. The gentle nudge. I don't think Heavy T will like that. And now Joe's going to have a look at Heavy T, but Giroux up into P1 with the fastest lap, 26 points. The gap would then go down to 72. Which then means that Giroux's got a pretty decent chance of making it drag a couple of more races. At least 2. And yeah, I do not believe Nipro's going to win the championship this time round. As obviously you've got Giroud leading, and Patuka's not that far off, decent points as well. The Simics picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Giroud has got out the second range just because that DRS detection is pretty late, or pretty early actually, and Giroud had an awful run through the final chicane, and EVT is pulled back within a second. Giroud's gone off the track a little bit. Giroud perhaps sensing the pressure, or I'm not trying to put a commentator's curse on him, but one silly mistake and Giroud is going to hand the championship to Nipro as his yellow flags is set to one. No, Scott! Oh no, and he's caused Lenny to go off the track and Simics to go off into a spin and into the wall. Oh no, no, no. Muffin I think's having an off as well. Now Scott's having a gravel trap. Where's he going? That's a wall. He's stopping the car. Oh. Apparently he doesn't exist on that camera angle. Is he just going to get himself disqualified? He is, yeah. So Scott is out of this race. He did cause two drivers to go off the track. Simics was caused to go off into the wall. So now definitely the Alfa Romeos are not going to win the Constructors, because both of them are going to be outside the top 10. Yeah, so these guys start lap 8. Time is absolutely flying by in ILR6 this evening. Yeah, Simics is into the pits, so yeah, it's unfortunate. Wasn't really his fault. He tried to avoid. And ended up going into the wall. So, yeah, bit unlucky, and he comes out plumb last. On a set of hards though, and can go to the end. Oh, Lord Alarm! Oh, he's off it in the first sector as well. Backwards. It's the same same corner as Scott. As Carmet has been overtaken by Usher. I don't think Carmet is going to go for it again into 130R. No, he's not. And yeah, he's well far behind. But he's got Patuka right in behind. The shell flash is set to 2. I'm not really fussed about that right now. Muffin's got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and Carmed loses another position to Patuka. Pretty comfortable for the Haas driver there into turn 1. Muffin as well. I don't know what's happened to Muffin, but he's got a 10-second time penalty, and he's gone off the track there. And we guess he's going to overshoot the chicane. Or take the GT car pit lane. I believe he's going to retire the car. Nipro's up into 11th. But still has to pit, bear that in mind. Joe's caught up to Heavy T again. Muffin is out of the session. What I forgot now. Nipro, there we go. My mind is going completely just blank today. What Nipro needs is a safety car, and he's back in it. As you're playing set to 1, I don't know what it is at the moment. Joe's in. And that'll be for a set of mediums, no doubt. Oh god. The engine revving there. The Joe playing set to 1. It's obviously I've got to go and check Jaruru first. As Muffin does leave the session, Joe is in on a set of mediums and he's going to come out behind ESD Mats. Just behind ESD Mats, not exactly what he wanted. His undercut may get hampered here. Go on board with Jaruru. He will be pitting probably the same as Heavy T. As they don't want to be undercutted. But we'll see. Heavy T losing a lot of time, so I think he'll lose out to Joe, who's on the back of the SD Mats. And yet Jaruru's in. Oh, he sped into the pit lane. Oh, that's going to be a big one. He sped into the pit lane. Now that could hamper him a little bit. Now Joe did pass the SD Mats. Heavy T will certainly come up behind. I don't know about Jaruru. I think Jaruru's going to come out ahead. Oh wow, actually come out quite comfortably ahead of Joe. Bear in mind, he's got that 5-second penalty. He'll need to try and get that gap above 5 seconds. Jaruru doesn't want to lose any points here in the championship. But we'll have to wait and see. Gap is 2.6 to Joe and an extra 1.6 to Heavy T in behind. Joe is low on fuel. Drew's got a lot of DRS, not DRS, ERS, but he's coming up to 2 Ferraris, which could be interesting. As we've got the 2 highest running medium runners who haven't stopped yet, going at it. It's a good run by Ushin. I think Ushin may be able to go for it on Patuka here. And yet Patuka's not fighting it. He's just going to let Ushin right through into turn 1. And Ushin takes the lead provisionally as Carmeds comes into the pits. He's going to come out comfortably ahead of Nipro. So Carmeds in a Williams is on for good points. He's on for good points. As Nipro's currently in 9th, but with Jaruru being in 5th, championship is not going in his favour today. Jaruru is getting a little bit further away from Joe, but Heavy T is catching Joe. I don't know what's happened to Joe. He's lost a lot of time to Heavy T in particular. Unless Heavy T has just suddenly put the pressure on. Let's see if he picks up a 3-second time penalty. Let's see what Heavy T can do here. Can he get past Joe? This is going to help Jaruru furthermore. Oh, Joe with a bit of a wobble out of the hairpin. And Heavy T pulls to the inside. Joe not fighting it. Heavy T gets through. So very comfortable from the Mercedes driver there, who will look to get closer to Giroux. I don't know the penalty situation on these two here. I definitely know Giroux's got 5 seconds. So obviously we'll have to see. His yellow flag in sector 3. It was Sippy who was retired. So that is our 4th retirement. As we've got Carmeds. Oh, Joe! Joe has spun. I should have noticed the car behind him spinning off. I was not paying attention, and Joe's off now and into the wall. And takes out the polystyrene as well. And that is Joe now down and out. So Nipro yet again gaining another position, which is what he wants. As Ushin leads on lap 14, we're just gone more than halfway through the race now. Patuka is still on the tail of Ushin. Max is a bit closer to NWB. NWB's made some questionable decisions today, and also had the worst start to a league race I've seen. As Max has got DRS and is gaining on NWB. Yeah, okay. I was wondering. I thought NWB was on overtake ERS. Joe picks up a penalty, and Joe retires to continue his bad run of form. So yeah, that is the 5th retirement. Lord Alam's coming into the pits. This could be to make him retire as well. And the SD Max is now out. Oh, he's lost it. Yeah, he's lost it at Dunlop. Another person to lose it at Dunlop. Wow, so halfway through this race we've got 6 retirements. People are making mistakes. So now Nipro's confirmed 11th at the moment. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Nipro, how many points can he try and claw back now? As people are making mistakes, seemingly enough. Patuka there with a bit of oversteer. I noticed that there coming through the first sector, and he runs a little bit far wide. He looks a little bit slidey. Just to look at everyone for a Dunlop, just to see if anyone makes that mistake. Like Heavy T running a little bit wide. That curb on the AstroTurf on the exit, not exactly a nice thing to go near. Carl Meds in 6th. Fair play to Carl Meds. He's going to get Williams into the double figures. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes. I actually beg that doesn't happen. Nipro will still be hoping for a safety car. There has been a fair share of opportunities for the safety car to come out, but the safety car has decided not to. Patuka's now back within a second of Ushin. We're getting nearer towards the pit stop phase for these guys. I'm going to say 2 laps and these guys will be in for a set of softs to go to the end. For Patuka, this race is important. He needs good points to try and keep in the championship fight. I know it is very, 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 very unlikely he'll stay in it because of the points difference to Nipro, but He's obviously going to keep trying to lead with the fastest lap. Which I don't even know what that was, but lead with the fastest lap. Fair play to him. Obviously going quicker than Giroux at the moment. Particularly struggling in this middle sector. He just looked particularly like slidey through the mid to low speed corners. Just don't think he has got that enough grip that Ushin up ahead has. But he is keeping up with Ushin. I don't know how long a pit stop is around here, but I would say both of them would come out ahead of Meds. So I would say P4, P5 for the pair of them. I don't think anyone's going to go for an undercut this lap. It's too early to pit for softs yet, unless they're willing to risk it, and they are both. I guarantee Patuka. Oh, he's almost sped. Patuka's probably followed him in because he wanted to. I think he was going to do the exact same as what Ushin was going to do. Will Ushin get held here? No, he doesn't. Giroux retakes the lead as we thought they would. Heavy T. Carl Meds now had just made an atrocious line going out of here and B pit. So that means they're both into third and fourth. And they are about 11.2 seconds off of Giroux. And with some fresh softs, that gap's going to come down pretty quickly as long as these two do not fight. Patuka, if I was him, I wouldn't go for it on Ushin. He will probably gather that they are going to be catching the leaders, as they are pretty quickly already. I do want to point that out. They've already caught more than half a second this lap, so Giroux's race win is definitely in jeopardy. The gap now is 10.5 seconds. These two are on the charge. Mainly Ushin, but Patuka's staying in there. He needs to. He needs to stay in there. And now the gap, yeah, 10.5. The gap is closing to Heavy T. Heavy T's losing a little bit of time to Giroux. As these guys are starting lap 18. Not many laps to go now. And the gap now is 10 seconds exactly. But obviously the softs will cut off at some point as the Ferrari switch for P6 and 7. Nipro close in behind, but on a very old set of hards now. Not on the oldest tyres on the grid. That will go to Speed Iceman, who I don't think has to pit. I know Nipro does, because the mandatory rule that you have to use 2 compounds. And Nipro has used hards. And then pit for hards again because of that wing damage he got on, I believe, lap 2. And he is 24 seconds off the leaders, but has not pit. So yeah, Nipro is 24 seconds off Giroux. Giroux should be safe to carry this championship on to USA. As the fans around the circuit are applauding for some reason, and wow, I've noticed this lap, but that gap has come madly down. The gap is 8.2. Ushin is absolutely flying. The gap's now below 8 seconds. As Patuka makes a mistake somewhere, but at this rate, Ushin's gonna, like, possibly even overtake Giroux as Nipro comes in for his one and final stop. And it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for him to get into the top 10. And I thought something had happened, but it's a false yellow flag. Oh, boring. I did hope something had happened to one of the drivers to try and spice some up. The race has toned down a little bit. The gap now 6.4. Ushin is absolutely flying right now. And he'll be within DRS range, probably the end of the first sector. Next lap, the gap now 6.2. A bit deep into turn 1, but I don't think that will bother him too much. As you can see, he's gaining and gaining on heavy T, and he's got within that DRS range. The exit of the first sector, as I said he would, he's creeped out a little bit. He doesn't want to get held up by heavy T too much. Gap is now 5.5 to Giroux. He needs to get past this Mercedes as quick as possible. And I'm thinking Ushin may go for it through 130R. He's a lot closer now for a spoon. And with this exit, oh, it's not a great exit, and I think Heavy T's going to fight this one. He is. So Heavy T's going to make Ushin's life a whole lot harder. Just checking the ERS on the two of them. Oh, he's literally pushing him through these final two corners. Ushin should get a good exit now. And he's all over the back of Heavy T. The gap is 2 tenths and open the DRS. And Ushin pulls to the outside. And Heavy T relinquishes P2. And Ushin now is on the charge. The gap is 4.4. Obviously we don't know about the penalty situation between the two of them. All we know is that Giroux has got a 5-second time penalty. And Nipro now the fastest lap of a 1:30.5. Nipro at best can get P8, which with the fastest lap is 5 points. But with Giroux winning the race potentially, he will still lose 20 points, which is not what he wants. But the way Ushin's going, he may get Giroux. He's not catching him as quickly now, but that's an obvious. Speed Iceman is off a Dunlop curve. Another person to bite the dust at Dunlop. So that promotes Nipro into 10th. For the championship, we'll go on another week because we have a lovely helicopter shot of who will be champion. Who I predict will be champion next week. But obviously, there's no way of knowing. Lord Lamb retires. Safety car now would absolutely spice this race right up. Oh, hello, Comets. Oh, I thought Comets has got off the track. No, B has overtaken him into turn 1. And B's up into 5th. B from the back of the grid, I swear. A lot of these drivers have started outside the top 10. Yeah, you've got Ushin started 17th. Patuka started 16th. B started last. The back three, the people who started from the back of the grid, second to back, or the back row, and B, not B, Patuka, at the back three on the grid starting are now 2nd, 4th and 5th. Wow, 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 wow. Nipro was then the next one in line, but Nipro obviously hasn't had the greatest of races to get caught up in that collision, I believe, with, I can't remember who it was now. Oh, Comeds! Oh, a bit of a wobble. Another wobble through a spoon, but yeah, he got caught up. I think it was NWB actually, I can't remember. No, it wouldn't have been. I think it was Scott. Or Sippy. Can't remember. But someone is spinning in front of him as lap 23 has begun. As Ushin tries to close the gap on Jaruru. Gap is 2.3. Jaruru is probably going to be a little bit worried. He doesn't want to lose any thingamabobby. Oh my god, I've completely lost my words again. Lose any points in the championship. But I think he may do to Ushin here, who will have an absolute brilliant drive from the back of the grid to win this race potentially. Now, like I said, I don't think he started at the back. No, he started second to last, but still. Absolute mad one if he wins. And Stiggy now has had an off, which allows Nipper up again to 9th. And just in case anyone is a football fan, Marco Silva has been sacked by Everton. So, yeah. But yeah, in case anyone was Everton fans, just need to update you. There's a battle currently going on for P4. Oh my! Bit of a close battle going on for P3, sorry, not P4. Between Heavy T and Patuka. Patuka's on a set of softs. Heavy T is defending with all his might through this first sector. Patuka getting pretty close, but cannot find a way through. And now he has got slipstream through 130R. Still, I think, too far back. Yeah, well, too far back. He may try and go for it into turn 1. Ooh, he taps the back twice of Heavy T. Oh, he's got a very, very, very good run out of the final corner, and Patuka looks like he's going to absolutely breeze past. And he is up into P3. And Ushin now right behind Jaruru. Here we go. This is what we love to see. With a couple of laps to go, this could be slightly deciding in the championship. Any collision between these two, Nipro will probably scream in delight if it involves Jaruru losing a couple of positions. Because with Nipro being in 8th, he gets 4 points. Actually, no, it doesn't matter, actually. But yeah, Ushin getting pretty close. There's only 2 laps to go, and his softs are going to start to wear out. And down the inside, no, he backs out. He's going to go for it into turn 1. Giroux is taking a very tight line. And Giroux's going to let him through. That could be the most confusing decision I've seen of this season. Ushin's taken the lead and is probably on to off the driver of the season. But I'm slightly bewildered at why Giroux's let him through. Giroux is he's one of the two people, and probably the only person now, who can stop Nipro, and has now just conceded himself 7 points. And I'm slightly confused about the decision, but yeah, Carmet's fan in the chat, he's on for an absolute stellar race. P6, he's going to get Williams into double figures if he doesn't make a mistake for the end of this lap and the next. He has got a Ferrari behind him of a Ledy. But yeah, very good from Carmed. It's going to be at least P7, P6 potentially. As these two are going to be starting the last lap. I'm slightly still confused at what Giroux did, why he let him through. But anyway, Ushin looks like he's going to be on to win his first or second this season. Oh, yellow flags. Oh, speed ice one. Oh, Stiggy. Oh, it doesn't really affect anything. Two people at the back. It doesn't affect anything. Carmed just been able to keep ahead of a Ledy, and I think that'll be it for everyone now. So we'll just go on with the leaders. Back on with Ushin. Ushin did win back in Germany. So it'll be his second win of the season. To climb a few more places in the championship. Getting to the top 10 of the championship. He is 10th at the moment, but joint 10th. This win could potentially boost him up into about 7th in the championship. Not bad from the Racing Point driver. Giroux has got a 5-second time penalty, so unless Ushin has more. I'm slightly bewildered, but Ushin coming around the final corner. Ushin's going to win this race provisionally. We'll have a look at the gap between the two right now, but Ushin comes across the line to win, and Ushin wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Giroux in second with a very weird decision. Patuka third, Heavy T third. Very good there from Heavy T. Patuka fourth. And now here comes B to get fifth. A very good drive from himself there. They got Carmeds. Will he hold on to sixth on penalties? We will see. He does. P6 for the Williams driver. Very good from Carmeds. Very good drives from a lot of drivers today. Ledy P7, Nipro P8. So the championship goes on another day. Stiggy is going to get 9th. Speed Iceman's already crossed the line in 11th. He will not score points. Yeah, that's all good. Stiggy coming across the line to get P9. It's points at least for him. And NWB, probably a race he'll want to forget. I mean, he's going to get points. Or point. But, yeah. Not great. And there we go. That has been it for the Japanese Grand Prix. I'll go for the grid once the podium celebration is done between the AI as such. Yeah. As Ushin celebrates his second win of the season. Go through the results now, and then I will take a short break, and then ILR 1, ILR 4 and ILR 5 will be on. So Ushin wins the race, Giroux in second, Heavy T in third. That's your top three, an unusual top three to say the least, apart from Giroux, who does keep the championship fight alive for USA. Patuka in fourth, B in fifth, Colmeds in sixth, stellar drive from him. Leddy seventh, Nipro eighth, a race to forget for his championship charge. Stiggy in ninth and NWB 10th. The less said about NWB this race, the better. And Iceman 11th. That's your finishers. Your non-finishers: Lord Lamb, Yesti Mats, Joe, Sippy, Simics, Muffin and Scott. A lot of drivers making mistakes. Decision making on a few times were a bit iffy, so yeah, one to forget for many drivers. But that's been it from me, Leon. ILR 1, ILR 4 and ILR 5 are going to be on next. No plug, but I'll be on ILR 4, so watch ILR 4. But anyway, that's been it from me, and for ILR 6 we'll see you, I believe, in a couple of weeks' time.